Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI tutorial by Holistic.net powered by SlideScope. In this part, we are learning about creating diagnostic pathology test result analysis dashboard in Power BI. Here you can see from the report we have some KPIs like average glucose, average diastolic BP, hemoglobin, HbA1c, HDL, LDL, etc. From where we can get this data set, its link, etc. will be shared with you. We have average LDL and HDL level by different conditions. So we are using these conditions as filters. For example, if you will select someone with anemia, you will see their hemoglobin levels are very low. But if you will select someone with diabetes, you will see their triglyceride, glucose, etc. are very high. So particularly HbA1c and glucose are high, and their BP. What is the average BP for fit people? What is the BP for people who have high cholesterol or hypertension? So things like this can be calculated from this or can be analyzed from this tutorial. So let's get started by creating this dashboard. So the data set that we are using in this project is diagnostic pathology test result data set, and dataset contains diagnostic test results for predicting health conditions based on 9 key biomarkers including blood glucose, HbA1c, blood pressure, etc. And this type of datasets can be used for health risk scoring and prediction, preventing healthcare research. And here we have different details of the columns that we have. From here you can simply download the dataset. It will be a CSV file. So when you will open the file, it will appear something like this. At least it is in my case. So I will simply select the first column, go to data and say text to columns and use delimited characters, and here you can see it is comma separated. So I am just going to use comma, then it is giving me a preview. I will click OK and finish. Now we can see that. So here we have different features like blood glucose, HbA1c, systolic BP, diastolic BP, LDL, HDL, triglyceride, hemoglobin, and MCV and condition. MCV here measures average red blood cell size, that is mean corpuscular volume. HDL is high density lipoprotein, good cholesterol, and LDL is bad cholesterol. See, we are just doing it for data analysis purpose. We are just considering that all these columns that are given here, all these fields are our inputs, and this is the target variable condition. So we have to check what conditions, what are the different parameter levels for which a person will have anemia, will have hypertension, will be fit, etc. So this is not a medical advice or anything. This is just a data analytics discussion that we are having, an exploratory data analysis. So now we will get started with analyzing this data by loading it into our business intelligence tool. So to start analysis, I have simply created one pathology analysis image using Canva, and we will simply open Power BI desktop here. And in our Power BI desktop, we will simply connect the dataset. So click on Get Data, click on Excel Workbook and connect. Select the Excel file and simply load it. So navigator is connecting, and from here we will select the sheet and simply load it. You can see the rows are loading. We have around 20,000. So I'll just pause it. So you can see here around 25,000 records are now loaded. The first thing that we are going to do, we will insert our image here. So to insert the image, we will simply click on images here. So you will go to insert tab, and from here you can insert image. Select your image and it will be uploaded. So we will place the image here because it kind of represent what we are trying to do here. This is totally optional, and just on one side of this image we will add a text box, and in the text box we will let everyone know what we are analyzing here. So this is diagnostic pathology test results analysis, and we will simply align it to center, make it full width, and we are going to use around 40 size here. In 40 we are seeing it in two rows, so let's keep it for 32. This is our result. Here we are going to use some font color, and font color we can choose according to our theme. We have yellow and purple color here, so let's select the dark purple color. And here we can go to effects and enable shadow. We also enable visual border. We can select some color as our border color and use 12 pixel radius. So we will have a 3D kind of effect for this, and let's align this little bit in center. We can do the same thing for image. We can go to general tab. Here also we can enable a shadow, and now we have some reference. So this is diagnostic pathology test result analysis. Our image and heading are set. We will save this file, press Ctrl S to save it. Now in reports like this, the first thing that we usually do is we take the numerical values like blood glucose, HbA1c, systolic, diastolic, others are given. Most of them are features, are input values and are numerical values. So we will create their average, like what is average blood glucose, what is average HbA1c, etc. So first for that we will create a simple card here, and we'll keep the card size smaller. So let's see, we have around 6-7 of them. So first let's drag blood glucose here and say what is the average blood glucose. When you will go into format your visual setting, you have call out value. In call out value we will choose 22 or 24 as call out value, and here we will simply write glucose, or we can go to visual setting also. So one thing that we will do is we will disable the category label and enable title and call it glucose, because we know everything that we are doing here is average. We will mention it somewhere. So here we are going to align it in center. We will use some text as per our theme, and value also we will select as per our theme color, something that we have, and make it bold, and this way we can reduce its size. So we have glucose here. Now we will simply uh, enable its effect and go to general tab, effect. We will enable shadow and visual border. We have the glucose level here. Similarly we will copy it and paste it here, copy and paste it here. So we will make some copies of it so that they can fit the entire width. And here we are going to bring other values, like here we have glucose, here we will have diastolic BP. So we name for this visual, we'll copy the text from here and go to title, and this will be diastolic BP. So I'm just going to pause and fill these fields and then come back. But when you are doing it, make sure it is all average. So we have one row of our KPI reports or simple cards. We will select all of them and copy and paste and make a copy here, and here we are going to include other report. So we are pasting and make sure we align them properly. So just below HDL we are going to add LDL and Similarly, select average as we have done for others and just change the title. So this will be LDL. So, so let me pause again and complete this row also. So we have glucose. So from top we have glucose, diastolic, BP, hemoglobin, HbA1c, HDL, LDL, MCV, and triglycerides, and we have systolic BP. So diastolic BP and systolic BP average are given here. It seems to be little bit on the lower side because average range or ideal range is 80-120. That's what we know. And here we will just, because we have to make it even, 5 on top, 5 on bottom, so we can also give number of records. Okay, and we can also bring something like minimum, maximum. That is something we can do, uh, but in order to create the total number of records, we can simply use count rows tags. And if you don't want to use count rows tags, you can also create one index column here. For every record we can have index column, because every record represents information of one patient or one individual. So we'll go to home tab, transform data, and we can go to add column. From here we can create a calculated index column, and we can start it from 1. Okay, so it is going to create those 2500 records. So let's pause this. Actually it is 25,000 records. So now it is created. Now we have to go to home again and close and apply. This is going to take a little bit of time to update 25,000 records. This totally depends upon your computer's configuration also. So now we have the index column. Why we have this index column? Because we want to count number of records, which we know is 25,000, but here we will just drag index column and use count distinct, and here it will mention 25.00k. So we can go to call out value and we can say decimal places, we say 0 decimal place. So this will be a better way of displaying data. And here we will use title, number of records. Okay, 25,000. And since all of this is average, we can also, like this further, we can try to insert one shape here, which we will place it below. Actually we are going to use a rectangular shape because all of them are rectangular. We have not used curve for them, and we will just place it like this. And now it is covering the area, so we'll go to format and go to send to back. This way it will be sent to back, and we will have some kind of highlight there. And in the card we have general, we can enable title, and we can write something like average metrics. Okay, or we can write average of, and then we have everything here. So we can align it to center, and here we can again edit the title a little bit. So we can make it bold, increase its size, and choose the text color as per our theme color. Okay, so we have this title here, and we can drag it a little bit up. Okay. So we have this, and we can use a different type of background colors. To change the background color, we can go to effect, and we can select a background color. First let me see, it is in style actually, and here we can choose this color, for example, or any color from the theme will also do. So let's say we want to choose the yellow color. Okay, so this is matching our image here, just showing you how to do all of these things. So it's up so that you can do it in other reports also. And now we have average of, obviously number of records is odd thing here, but here we have mentioned number of records. So this is our KPI metrics that we have created. Now we have to use a filter. So because condition is the main target, a variable here, to create a filter we will use a slicer here, and we will use this height, and in the slicer we will drag condition. So you can see we have different types of conditions here. Okay, because we have plenty of space here, so we can use it like this, or we can also go to slicer setting and say this is going to be a drop down list, and here in slicer values we are going to increase the value size. Okay, and here we are going to make it bold and select some font color that will be visible to users and will be properly there. So this is our condition filter here. In general, we also have properties with margin and padding. So we have positioning and padding, so we can increase top padding to 20, right? 20 is maximum here, so that it is properly aligned. This particular text here is coming from slicer header, so here we can increase its size, you know, condition, make it bold. We can also select some color here, and for this entire slicer we can go to general tab, effect, enable shadow, and we can enable a visual border. Here we can select this color and choose a radius. So it's your choice how you want to present it, but this is our simple slicer. Now, important thing to create your reports is to make it useful also. For example, if someone has anemia, then you can see hemoglobin level is low, 8.5. Diastolic BP and systolic BP are also lower than total average. Glucose level is 95.23, which is actually good glucose level. That's what we understand. Here is HbA1c, MCV, etc. But this glucose level can be higher in case of diabetic patients. You can see it is 160, in the range of 160. Hemoglobin is good, and HbA1c is also higher for diabetic. For fit people, okay, so you can see hemoglobin is 14, and usually hemoglobin varies in case of male and female also. And in this record we have mixed records, maybe we have mixed records, it is not clear from the dataset. We will go through the details more, but here you can see in fit people their BP range is given like this, okay, which is a little bit doubtful to me, but whatever data is given we are just bringing the insights as per the data. And HbA1c in fit people is actually as per overall average. HDL and LDL are 50 and 95, we can say. People with high cholesterol, you can see in people with high cholesterol have very high LDL value, and people with hypertension have high BP. You can see their diastolic BP is also in the range of 100, and systolic BP average is 155. Okay, if you will actually select maximum here, so you can say it is 180. Let's roll back to average. So that's why it is important if you want to create only KPIs like minimum, maximum, average. So you can do that as well in one report. So here we are just writing report dashboard, but you can create multiple dashboards here to create your final report as well. Now we have this condition analysis here, and we will proceed with creating categorical charts. Here you can see we have anemia, diabetes, weight, high cholesterol, hypertension. We have these type of values here. Okay, so first thing we will see how many records of different type do we have, because this sidebar we are going to use for just see the summary. So we will use a simple donut chart here, and we can also use a clustered bar chart. Let's see how donut chart appears. And in legend, we are going to bring the target variable, that is condition. Okay. And in values, we are going to bring total number of records per condition. This is just number of records. And we will simply use format painter to copy its styling. Here, this is called legend, and this is our main chart, and this is our heading. You can see padding is also copied here. So you can go to legend and say we want to show the legend in bottom center. Okay, if you want, so you can show it in bottom center. You have different other places: bottom right, center left, top left stack, whatever you feel like. Let's keep it in bottom center. Okay, in your detail labels, we have information of the data. Okay, so our position is outside. We can also use inside position, prefer outside. So in these cases, if it is available, you can see it inside also. Prefer inside, whatever you want to use. Okay, let's use outside. And here it is showing data value percentage of total. Okay, let's say we want to see only percentage of total. So you can see for fit people, we have 72% of records are for fit people, 12% diabetic people, 6.78% with hypertension, 5.32 with high cholesterol, and 3.39 with anemia. So these are some different type of record. And instead of, okay, we made a mistake also. It is showing sum of index. We have to select count of index. Okay, not going to make too much difference in the report, but you have to make sure that you have selected the correct value parameter here. And we are going to general tab, and this is count of patients by condition. And here we will align it to center and choose some heading color, make it bold, increase its size a little bit. So this is simply count of patient by condition. If you want to use your existing colors, so you can go to slices. So this color is actually available here, so you can use, let's say, or we want to use some yellow color, so you can select that as well. Okay, so I think this will be good. We can use this color, so you can customize the colors, etc., from the styling menu. Now the next thing that we can do is we can choose the screen matrix and see average of glucose per different condition. Okay, so for example, let's say we have selected clustered column chart here, and in the clustered column chart, I'm just creating something like this. So in the clustered column chart, let me use half width first of all. We'll see on x-axis we are going to bring the condition. Okay, and on y-axis, let's say I will bring sum of blood glucose. Instead of sum, I will bring average. So here you have, like in case of diabetic people, you can see the average of blood glucose is 160. For all other, it is in the range of 94, 95. Okay, so this is one thing that we can do here. And since it's a clustered column chart, so we will bring glucose, HbA1c here, and triglyceride. We can bring these three different values, which are kind of related to blood sugar, or if you know more about it, so whatever values are related to blood sugar mainly, like glucose, uh, you know, HbA1c, triglyceride, being diabetic, you can bring them here. And here, first of all, we will copy this styling. So for example, we'll use format painter here, and this will create it like this, and we are going to go to general tab in properties. First of all, one thing I will do is reduce the padding from top to 5 pixel. And now we have on y-axis we have average of blood glucose. We will have average of HbA1c. Okay, so you can see, because these two values have two different scales, right? So it can bring effect like this, where one particular field is barely visible. You can also go to visual and try to bring logarithmic scale. So in logarithmic scale, you can see it is more comparable now, and obviously we are using sum there, which is also making it out of range, so we have to use average. Okay, so in that case, let's again go to y-axis, disable the logarithmic scale. So in this case also it is not visible. So this is it, and we can also bring average of triglyceride here, average. Okay, so and you can always go back to data labels and switch them on, so then you will be able to see the different values also. This is blood glucose, average HbA1c, and triglyceride on the basis of different conditions. You can see in case of diabetic people, all of them are in the higher range. Okay, but in case of high cholesterol people, you can see triglycerides are in the higher range. So this is one thing that we can do here, and we will just adjust it height and width. So there is too much detail in the title, so we can write blood glucose or something like this: blood glucose, HbA1c, and triglyceride by condition. There is one more thing. Let me copy this, although this you can keep any one of them. If you want to see a rank of different metrics in different categories, different metrics like blood glucose, HbA1c, and average of triglyceride in different categories, that is diabetes, anemia, and fit, etc. You can also use a ribbon chart. So here you can see, like for diabetic people, uh, average of blood glucose is highest. Okay, then for others it is lower, but triglyceride is higher in case of others. So this is something that you can use, or you can use it like this, whatever you want to keep. Okay, that's your choice. Here I will just do one thing. I will go to columns and choose different colors. So let's say for HbA1c I want to use a purple color, and for triglyceride I want to use this color, and for this I will use this color. So you can choose any other color, but I'm just using as per this color theme that I have. Similarly, we can make a copy of it, and after making a copy we can include other reports. So let me reduce its width so that we can fit 3 reports here, or 3 visuals here, not reports. And here we are going to use a ribbon chart, and here instead of average of blood glucose, HbA1c, and triglycerides, I am going to use systolic BP and diastolic BP, because these two will represent, you know. So you can see in case of fit people, not 1 per 6 million, we have to bring their average. So you can bring the average like that. So you can see we have, in case of people with hypertension, it is higher. Otherwise, it is almost similar in other cases. And here also we will change it to average BP level by condition, and here we can choose different colors. So for example, we can go to columns. Here we can use ribbons actually. For this we can create different type of border or transparency that we have. And for columns we can select color. Let's say for diastolic, let's select this color, and for systolic we selected that color, and for diastolic we will select this color. This is average BP level by condition. And to create some space we can go to access, and we can disable values and title from here so that we have some space available. And one other group that we will create is for LDL and HDL, which is good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, whatever you call it. So we'll bring it, use average here also, and we can see, or we can use some other type of chart here. For example, we have a donut chart where you can see like this particular color is showing high cholesterol, okay, and in case of high cholesterol you can see average of LDL here is 195.91 and it is 26.69. So basically you can see LDL is 195.91 average here, and HDL is 26.69. So you can see bad cholesterol versus good cholesterol ratio. Similarly, you can see it in other tabs also. So you can simply write it as average LDL and HDL level by condition, and here we can make them all of equal size. For example, let's see what is the size here. So if we go to properties, it is 297. Let's make it 300. This also, let's make it 300, and this also, let's make it 300. So when they will all have equal size, we can arrange them properly. We will switch it to pie chart simply. So we have made some space in the bottom, and in data sets like this, what another thing that you can do is uh, you can also see relation between different variables. For example, uh, let's say we have grouped them together, so we can see in diabetic people average of HbA1c is on the higher range, 7.75, and average of blood glucose is also in the higher range. So what it will be always useful to see that if glucose level is increased, will it increase the overall blood glucose or overall HbA1c or vice versa. So we can also create a scatter plot for that. So let's add a scatter plot here and see. So we can create it like this. Let's copy the formatting a little bit, and here we have x-axis and y-axis. On x-axis we use something that is independent. So let's say we are using HbA1c here as that parameter, and we want to see if we increase it, whether blood glucose will increase or decrease. Here we can say don't summarize. Here also we can say don't summarize. So you can see in all the cases that we have, it is somewhat appearing like this. So HbA1c from 4 to 7 and something like this, okay. And if you will use trend analysis here, so you can see a little bit increment. Obviously in real cases you will see more clear indication of when you will increase or decrease one of them, the other one will increase or decrease. And let's say we only select diabetes, okay. So in these cases you can see it starts from a range of 6.51. For others it will start from a range of, you will see range like 4.7 and goes up to 6.38. So for different cases you will be able to see the range. Here we can go select markers, and we can select a different shape for our markers, okay. So this, and we also have the trend line here, so we can select a light color for it. So this is HbA1c and blood glucose. So we will simply write versus here. We A1C versus blood glucose. Similarly, you can use other parameters also, uh, like LDL and systolic BP. So let me copy this, and here we will create LDL versus systolic BP. So we will remove this and add, sorry, we will add LDL here, yeah, LDL, and here we will add systolic BP, and we will use don't summarize and don't summarize here. So here you can see effect of LDL versus systolic BP. Now, in order to see distribution of one particular variable in all the patients that we have, so for example, we consider hemoglobin. Okay, so how hemoglobin is distributed, like how many patients have hemoglobin in lower range, in higher range, etc. So first we will try with bringing a stack column chart here, and in a stacked column chart we will bring hemoglobin on x-axis and count of records on y-axis. So here you will see we will use count distinct. So you can see count of records, and it is being shown like this, right? So we either have records between hemoglobin level of 6 to 10.9, or we have starting from 12. So we have these two different type of records. And let's say if we remove anemia from it. So first of all, we'll show select all. So to do that, we will go here, select condition, slicer setting, and in selection, we will say show select all. So we'll select all and remove anemia. You can see, right? And we select nothing but anemia. So we will see the range is from 6 to 10.9, because in anemia, hemoglobin goes down. So that's what we can see here. That's why these two categorizations can be seen here. You can also use a scatter plot here and see that. So, but we will go with the stack chart. And here, if you want to further, reduce the number of groups here, we can also click on hemoglobin and create a new group. And here, bin size is 0.16 hemoglobin. Let's say we want to break them into 1.5, right? We want bins of 1.5 hemoglobin range. So we have the hemoglobin group here. So let's drag it. So now we will have less number of values here in live, and this is distribution. And here in first we'll select this, and here in visual we will first select the column color as per our theme. Okay, and here you will simply write distribution of HB. Okay, and looks like we have not copied the styling, so we will simply copy format painter and copy the styling. Now it will appear like this. And since we have to see the effect of you know uh, this particular parameter on conditions of person, so we will use legend, and in legend we are going to use the categorical variable condition. So this way you will be able to see, in case of all people with anemia, these are all people with anemia, and here then distribution by range here. You can also select 100% stack chart, so you will be able to see that. And what it is showing us is in these four hemoglobin groups, all of them belong to anemia. Okay, but in these groups, like from 12 in the hemoglobin group of 12 to 13.5, let's say. So we have people 12.73% have diabetes, 74% are fit, they have high cholesterol, and they have hypertension. We can also enable the data labels here. So you will be able to see the percentage in full width also. Okay, 100% and then the percentages. So this is important thing to consider. Like although we can get this data from other charts also, but we are using it to see percentage wise effect. Okay, and from here you can use different type of things. Now this is our simple chart here. Next, finally, we will also see MCV, that is, it measures average red blood cell size. So we are going to use a simple chart here, and we'll copy the styling, and we will drag MCV and average of. So we'll first drag conditions y-axis and average of MCV here. So on x-axis, okay. So here you can see number of feet, etc. We will just say we want to see the average. So you can see that. And this is average of MCV by condition. So this is our first report. If you like this tutorial, got some insights from it, please subscribe to our channel. Please like this video and share it with your colleagues if they are also learning Power BI. And if you would like to see analysis on any other data set, see us perform or create tutorial of it, so you can also let us know in the comment section. We will try to create those reports for you and explain you the different steps involved in it. Thanks for watching it. Have a nice day once again.